Couple years. I haven't put out music in so long, and I'm always an anxious person, a very anxious person.
Face tattoos, a raspy voice, and a song that refused to be ignored. That's how the world first noticed him. One viral moment cracked the door open, and everything after came rushing through. He didn't look like a pop star. He didn't sound like one either. Raised on country music, obsessed with Guitar Hero, and driven by raw emotion, he blurred the lines between rap, rock, and melody until the industry had no choice but to catch up. What started as a bedroom upload turned into diamond records, sold-out arenas, and a career that rewrote the rules in real time. But the fame came fast and not without cost. Behind the hits and headlines is a story filled with contradictions, vulnerability wrapped in excess, success paired with isolation, and an artist learning how to survive the very spotlight that made him. This isn't just about music, it's about reinvention, pressure, and a life lived louder than expectations. This is the life of Post Malone. Austin Richard Post was born on July 4th, 1995 in Syracuse, New York. A quiet beginning, wrapped in firework, like fate whispering before it ever shouted. Long before the world knew the name Post Malone, he was just a boy growing up in a house where music wasn't background noise, but oxygen. His father, Rich Post, a former DJ, filled their home with country twang, rock anthems, and hip-hop beats, each genre bleeding into the next, shaping Austin's ears before he understood their power. After his parents separated, Austin was raised by his father and stepmother, Jody, who became steady anchors in his life. When he was 9, the family relocated to Grapevine, Texas, a move that felt like a reset button. Texas opened him up the way wide highways open the sky, exposing him to new sounds, new cultures, and a rhythm that would later pulse through his music. Though an only child by birth, Austin grew up in a blended family. He shared his world with a stepbrother, Mitchell Post, and a younger half-brother, Jordan Lake. Their presence, though mostly kept out of the spotlight, formed a quiet backbone of support, constant grounding and unseen, like roots beneath a rising tree. Music didn't find Austin overnight. It crept in through a video game, Guitar Hero, before pulling him toward a real guitar. By high school, he was screaming through metal riffs in a band, learning how to command a room, how to turn emotion into sound. But his curiosity refused to sit still. Metal bled into rock, rock into hip-hop, until his laptop became a playground where genres collided and something new began to take shape. Somewhere between late-night recordings and teenage ambition, the name Post Malone was born, unexpected, imperfect, and unforgettable, much like the artist himself. College came and went quickly, unable to hold him. Music was already calling louder than caution ever could, so he packed up, left Texas, and headed for Los Angeles, chasing a vision only he could see. Post Malone's professional rise began like a lightning strike. In 2015, White Iverson exploded online, slicing through the noise and carrying him onto the Billboard Hot 100 almost overnight. That single didn't just introduce him, it opened the gate. A record deal followed, and suddenly, a once unknown artist was sprinting into the spotlight like a firework that refused to fade. His debut album, Stoney, proved the moment wasn't a fluke. Tracks like Congratulations became victory anthems, later earning diamond certification and signaling that Post Malone wasn't chasing hits, he was building a legacy. But it was Beerbongs and Bentleys that turned momentum into dominance. Debuting at #1, it shattered streaming records and delivered chart toppers like Rockstar and Psycho, songs that hit with the force of cultural earthquakes. Grammy nominations soon followed, cementing his arrival among music's elite. Rather than retreat, he doubled down. Hollywood's Bleeding soared to #1 again, earning another Album of the Year Grammy nomination. Its standout single, Circles, lingered on the charts like an echo that refused to disappear, breaking longevity records and proving his music wasn't just popular, it was timeless. As his career evolved, so did his sound. From 12-Carat Toothache to his bold leap into country with $1 trillion, Post Malone moved between genres like a shapeshifter, fearless and fluid. Songs like I Had Some Help dominated the charts, reinforcing his ability to thrive anywhere music lives. The accolades tell their own story. He's claimed multiple #1 singles, collected dozens of major awards from Billboard, MTV, and the AMAs, and earned nearly 20 Grammy nominations. He holds a Guinness World Record for the most diamond-certified singles, with Sunflower standing as one of the most decorated songs in history. In 2023, his songwriting impact was further honored with the Hal David Starlight Award, recognizing his influence beyond charts and trophies. So despite living under stadium lights, Post Malone has always guarded his heart like a locked room behind the stage. Fame followed him loudly, but love moved through his life in quieter, more complicated ways, often unfolding flourishing just beyond the public eye. His earliest and most formative relationship was with Ashlyn Diaz, a music promoter who stood beside him before the world caught on. They met as his career was still taking shape, and for several years, she was both partner and pillar, present as his success accelerated like a train picking up speed. Their bond even found its way into his music. But as the demands of fame grew heavier, the relationship slowly unraveled, another casualty of momentum. After that chapter closed, Post drifted through a brief, low-profile romance with model Kano Shimpo, followed by rumors of a digital age connection with South Korean artist MLMA during the isolation of the pandemic. Those moments flickered like spark, bright, brief, and gone before they could fully ignite. Then came the relationship that changed everything. In late 2020, Post fell in love with Jamie Park, someone far removed from celebrity chaos. With her, life softened. In 2022, he revealed they were engaged and expecting a child, speaking openly about how love and fatherhood pulled him back from darker places. The birth of their daughter became a turning point, like an anchor dropped into his life, slowing him down, giving him purpose beyond the music. But even grounding love can fracture. By 2024, the relationship quietly ended, and by 2025, legal filing confirmed their separation. The breakup marked another emotional shift, proof that even the most transformative chapters don't always last. In the wake of that loss, Post was briefly linked to Christy Lee, a young designer whose presence brought flashes of romance back into the headlines. Their relationship played out like a short European montage, handheld moments, soft smiles, then silent. By mid-2025, it too had faded. Success brought more than hits and headlines. It opened the door to a different kind of power, wealth. What began as viral success transformed into a multi-lane financial empire, built on music but powered by strategy. At its core is his catalog, a money-making engine that never goes silent. With billions of streams and some of the most highly certified songs in music history, Post has earned $50 to $60 million in peak years from recordings, publishing, and touring alone. His tours functioned like moving economies. The Runaway Tour pulled in over $90 million, while later runs consistently cleared $70 to $100 million, city after city, night after night. But Post Malone never bet on one stream of income. Brands saw his reach and rushed in. Endorsements with Bud Light, Crocs, Doritos, HyperX, and True Religion brought in multi-million-dollar deals, turning his image into currency and his personality into a global billboard. Then came ownership. In 2020, he co-founded Maison No. 9, a rosé brand that sold 50,000 bottles in just 2 days. It quickly scaled into a business generating tens of millions annually, proving he wasn't just lending his name, he was building assets. His investments stretch further. He bought into Raising Cane's, aligning himself with a fast-growing chain valued in the billions. He placed serious money into alternative assets too, famously purchasing a rare Magic, the Gathering One Ring card, for about $2.6 million, a move that shocked collectors and signaled his appetite for unconventional value. Real estate anchors the portfolio. His custom Utah estate alone is valued at $7 to $8 million, with additional properties pushing his holdings well into the 8-figure range. All roads lead to a net worth estimated between $60 million and $80 million, a figure that rises and falls with touring cycles but rests on a diversified foundation. Like his music, Post Malone's financial journey refuses to fit a single genre. Fame changed his life. Money changed his address. Post Malone's homes tell his story in stone and steel, each one a reflection of how he lives when the music stops. His real estate journey isn't just about luxury, it's about control, contrast, and escape. His most iconic residence rises in the mountains of Utah, a fortress disguised as a retreat. Purchased for about $3.9 million and now valued near $6 million, the estate feels less like a house and more like a modern stronghold. Set against the Wasatch Mountains, it's built to endure. Thick concrete walls, bullet-resistant windows, backup power, and even a bunker, like a castle prepared for the end of the world. Yet inside, the space breathes. Massive windows pull the mountains indoors, while amenities like a home theater, wine cellar, pool, and basketball court soften the edges. It's solitude with purpose, a place to disappear without losing comfort. That craving for balance carried him west to Los Angeles. In 2020, Post bought a sleek $3 million modern mansion in the San Fernando Valley, trading isolation for creative energy. Clean line, open spaces, and floor-to-ceiling glass give the home a polished calm, like a deep breath between tours. The backyard, complete with a pool, spa, and outdoor kitchen, feels designed for late nights and quiet celebrations, a contrast to the fortress he retreats to when the noise grows too loud. Beyond these mansions, quieter properties tie him to his past, like his childhood home in Texas, a reminder that even as his world expands, the roots remain intact. But real estate is only half the picture. To understand his taste for freedom and excess, you have to look at his cars. This isn't just a lineup of luxury vehicles, it's a reflection of momentum, each car chosen like a verse that hits harder than the last. At the center sits his Bugatti Chiron, a machine valued at around $3 to $3.5 million, with 1,500 horsepower under the hood. It's less a car and more a missile wrapped in chrome, silent one moment, ferocious the next. Nearby is his Ford GT, worth about $1.7 million, a precision-built American supercar that trades excess for pure speed, sharp as a blade on asphalt. Italian firepower follows. His Lamborghini Aventador Ace V, priced near $575,000, looks like it was carved by lightning. Low, aggressive, and built to be seen before it's heard. When the road disappears, he reaches for chaos. A Hennessy Velociraptor 6x6, roughly $350,000, a six-wheeled monster that rolls like a tank with attitude. Luxury balances the madness. His Rolls-Royce Phantom, around $550,000, and Cullinan, about $470,000. Glide instead of roar, cars that float like private lounges on wheels. And tucked between the extremes are quieter choices. A Shelby F-150 Super Snake, approximately $105,000. A vintage 1966 Lincoln Continental, approximately $125,000. A classic Chevy C10, approximately $50,000. And even a humble Subaru WRX, approximately $35,000. Proof he doesn't always need spectacle to move. Beyond cars, mansions, and business deals, Post Malone spends his money on moments of rarity, luxury that feels personal, almost ritualistic. His lifestyle isn't loud for attention, it's loud with meaning. Time itself glitters on his wrist. Post owns a collection of luxury watches valued at nearly $6 million, featuring rare Richard Mille pieces that alone reach $800,000 to over $1 million each. These watches don't just tell time, they flex it, ticking like mechanical heartbeat, wrapped in diamonds and carbon fiber. That same taste for statement carries into his jewelry. One of his most striking pieces is a custom Dallas Cowboys diamond pendant, valued at around $250,000, flooded with thousands of stones. His rings and chain, many crafted by legendary jewelers, add hundreds of thousands more, flashing like frozen lightning under stage lights. But Post's idea of luxury stretches beyond gold and gems. He's a serious collector, pouring millions into the rare and the unusual. In a move that stunned collectors worldwide, he spent roughly $2.6 million on the one-of-a-kind One Ring Magic, the Gathering card, along with other rare cards costing hundreds of thousands. Even the digital world caught his attention. He dropped about $700,000 on exclusive NFTs, treating virtual art like modern relics. Then there's indulgence in its purest form. Post reportedly owns ultra-rare bottles of Macallan 1926 whiskey, each valued near $2 million. Liquid history sealed in glass, meant as much to admire as to taste. As his fame exploded, controversy followed close behind, clinging like static to every success. The earliest backlash centered on genre and identity. As a white artist who rose through hip-hop, Post found himself accused of using rap as a stepping stone. When comments surfaced suggesting hip-hop lacked emotional depth, criticism hit hard and fast. To many, it felt like a door slammed after being held open, though he later clarified his respect for the genre. The moment lingered, echoing like a line taken out of context, but never forgotten. That tension bled into broader debates over cultural appropriation. His image, braids, grills, hip-hop aesthetics sparked accusations that he was wearing the culture rather than living it. Supporters saw genre fusion. Critics saw convenience. Post became a symbol in a larger argument about who gets to benefit and who gets left behind. When cultures collide in pop music, then came concern, not anger, but fear. Videos of emotional, unsteady performances spread online. prompting speculation about his health and substance use. Fans worried he was unraveling in public, like a candle burning too fast. Post addressed it directly, denying drug abuse and pointing instead to exhaustion and emotional weight. Still, the footage lived on, feeding narratives he couldn't fully control. Even his music became part of the debate. Lyrics drenched in excess, loneliness, and self-numbing habits drew criticism for glorifying destructive behavior. Yet to others, those same songs felt like confessions, raw, unpolished, and painfully honest. The line between vulnerability and influence blurred, and Post stood right in the middle of it. Through every wave of criticism, his response stayed consistent: openness over outrage. He admitted flaws, acknowledged growth, and kept moving forward. The controversies didn't break him, they cracked the surface. And through those cracks, something more human showed through. At the end of the day, luxury isn't just about what you own, it's about the freedom it buys. And this life is built exactly that way. If you enjoyed this look into Post Malone's world, like, subscribe, and let us know what caught your attention most. See you in the next one.